Do you think, when a Master G, that these marathons are serving that purpose of giving new instructors an experience that should be applied everywhere?
No. No. Actually, I'll be just straight and frank with you. They give nothing. They give absolutely zero. Not to say. Listen.
This is when I go. Please explain.
Yes.
Marks.
Yes.
This is the return of the very powerful podcast of Give Gas, the Hercules Bootcamp, and Lebabo Fitness by the godfather of aerobics, Mr. Gordon Makwala. Good morning.
Morning. How are you, Hercules?
I'm good, Data. I'm good. This Master G thing, obviously, I think it comes from you being a master trainer. And watching the last week's episode, I think I could tell that there's a lot of wisdom that you carry. I mean, going into fitness in 1986, geez, I wasn't even born yet.
I think Mzimnyazi told me that you were like, what, just 2 years after I started, okay? Were you born 87? I mean, 88.
No, not even.
Gee.
Yeah, let's not go.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. These women are gonna,
Yeah. Yeah.
But one thing when I Master G, one thing that I really appreciate about what you said in last week's episode is that it was a big struggle. It was a big struggle in when you got started. I mean, taking 3 years to get your qualification, and then taking another year to get your practicals done, and then also struggling with the fact that there was strict racism. It was blatant racism.
Exactly.
Having to do your practicals and knowing that there's only one gym, and that gym you had to be recommended. And also knowing that the powers that be that held the structural construction of this fitness in South Africa was white. Full on white. So that's why I say that I appreciate the fact that you are the godfather of aerobics. You know from beginning, from the transition, talking about all these guys that I see as legends in the game. And to you, they are kids.
Yeah, most of them, yeah.
They are kids.
Yeah.
And now I can actually see the number of years and experience, and also the wisdom that you have. It's not just book wisdom. It is actual experience wisdom. And I don't know. When we compare the curriculum of yesteryear and these days, how do you feel about what you guys did in those days and what's being done now?
Look, Hercules as a facilitator and also an assessor and assessed mostly these fitness institutes. When the curriculum was changed to what we have now, where you are doing the NQF levels compared to what we used to do, because the difference would be yesteryears you'd look at the primary, then going to the secondary, then the tertiary, which involved a lot of things that are not done now. And even just looking at the time that we were given to practice until you can actually master a skill, and then you are moved to the next level, which it was maybe secondary and then tertiary. You look at now, The difference is you do a course in 30 hours, which is only how many weekends? 3 weekends, Saturday, Sunday times 3. 30 hours divided into those 3 weekends. And the amount of work on the modules, it's a lot. People, they are only tested in terms of their understanding, not because they know the subject or the skill. We nowadays they only test you on the understanding. Basically, it's not that you really are a good instructor or you are going to make it in the industry. I can tell you that how many instructors that we have. Hence, every time when I train all my students, I keep on telling them that, look, looking at the time that we have to spend together here training you, don't call yourselves my students. Not yet. You are here to just gather information, but what you do with it later, therefore that will make you my student. That is, if you then take all the information that I taught you, and obviously I know for some of them that are now good, they actually spend more time with me after the 30 hours. So you can imagine that I still have to do more work with them even after they finish the 30 hours. Meaning, according to the curriculum now, it tells them what formatives you do, formatives, which is your classwork, and then after we do the summatives. And most of the summatives are open book. Like your anatomy and physiology is open book. You don't have to think. You don't have to think. Everything is there. So how do you compare that with when we were taught before? We didn't have an open book. You'd have to go learn, and then there comes a question paper. There's no book in front of you. You just have to know. And your answering also, it will be based on the understanding, not per se exactly what it is written there. Question answers should be 1, 2, 3. It was not a what do they call it? Where you just choose A or B or C. No, multiple choice. It was not multiple choice questions. You are asked, and all your questions will be based on your understanding, and they will see how you answer them. And it's not just one term, and then okay, now we think they understand. Basically, it was that. So the difference between the two, it was, you can see it's huge. We had enough time to learn all of these things, and looking at the levels, we had primary, tertiary, primary, secondary, and tertiary. Whereas nowadays, it's only that 30 hours, and you're not actually doing all the intense and the extensive work that we used to do then. Where with your primary, you'd be maybe focusing on the anatomy and the physiology, and then how does those muscles work, not per se that you're doing a program. Therefore, then you could go to a secondary where now you'll be starting to do maybe a basic of psyche and then leadership. Then it will take you to a tertiary now where you now start doing your programs. But the programs that we used to do, it wouldn't be just group fitness, exercise to music. It will be gym instructor. It will be how do you work with one-on-ones. Because they were all aerobics. How do you work with a group? How do you work with senior citizens? Prenatal and whatever we used to call it, antenatal classes. So we used to get a full package. It was not you do a prenatal and then postnatal classes. So you do everything. So each and every program, you would actually have to go, be trained on it. It will take you 3-4 months. You have to pass it, and then you go to something else. You do maybe high-low, then you pass it. Then it's body conditioning. Then they used to call it kinetics, and then
Yes.
then you do all these programs differently. Though we didn't have step then, kick we used to have. It was called something else. I don't remember whether it was Carapox or what. Yeah. So we had all these different programs that you had to do, and it was a must. It was not like you do group fitness and it's only high, low, and step, and then you get your qualification. Yeah.
Okay. I want to, Master G. I want to rope you in a very hot assessment that I want your personal opinion on, and I think the audience has to know that this is a personal opinion, and not one that comes from the department of group exercise, fitness, and the master trainer title that you hold. What do you think is the level of the curriculum that is current right now as compared to the curriculum level that was the yesteryear? Do you think we are regressing, or we are progressing, or nothing has changed? Basically, which is better, the olden days or now?
I think, the curriculum itself, there's nothing wrong with it, because nothing has actually changed, except that what has changed is that you don't get enough training compared to when we used to do the training.
And why is that?
It's mainly because of most institutes, they wanted to make money. That's my personal, it's money. It's all about money. If you look at it business wise, it will be, if I can give 5 products for one price and cheap, it's not going to make you money. It's not a good business thing, idea. But if I now break all these products into this and that and that, and then have a price for this and that and that and that, it will make more money, because now you'll find that others are not good maybe in body conditioning, or maybe they don't like it, they just love jumping. Then you see they can just do that. Whereas in yesteryears, it was a requirement that you cannot be an instructor if you don't know how to do all these things. So that's the difference. Come again?
Speaking of money, I think it's very important that you talk about money. And in the days that you started fitness, I would assume that it was not necessarily a career back then, because what we found, Mnyazi and I, we've had colleagues that have sort of like given up on aerobics. There's a lot of banter and a lot of talks saying that aerobics is not growing. Aerobics doesn't have money. If you want to teach and be in fitness, you must really compensate and do other things. Just live on teaching classes alone. So in that money, there are other competitors, that have not necessarily gone through the chains of being qualified exercise instructors, and they've kind of figured out a way that you can make money without being qualified, and they are beating the qualified trainers, like hands down. They are making money, and the type of trainers, you'd find that they are more or less your influencers that have made their impact in the social media department, and also they made their marks in whatever media that they cover. But now they go into fitness. and people listen to them.
Exactly.
And they make money.
Of course.
And they are creaming us. They are creaming us.
Definitely.
What is it that we are lacking business-wise, where we can say, guys, we need to make money because we know what we are talking about? What are we lacking? We know the content. Why are we not able to generate the content into business?
Number one, I wanna take you back to the point that you just mentioned about money. Why are they not making money? Then we're looking at the curriculum itself. As I remember the experience when we were taught.
Yes.
And then you are saying it's aerobics. I wouldn't categorize it as aerobics. We were trained to look at this thing as fitness. So now if it's fitness, it's broad. It can be anything. It can be programs. It's not a program. Now that means now you have 5 products or 10 products that you can actually specialize on. And if this one is not working, you can try the other one. Whereas with nowadays, what happens is that because of the training is not that extensive compared to when we were trained. I listen. It's my personal taking on this one. I am thinking it's because of most instructors, they are just doing this because they think if they can just make money. But when they realize there is no money, because of when they first start, they forget the most important things about what they've learned when they were still at the institute. On the first few chapters, though they are not actually explained clearly, there's leadership. They show you why you have to do what you have to do. Even though it's not explained, but it has a lot of things that actually can equip you to see that actually it's not aerobics per se, it is a business. But for you to know your business, you really have to have a skill. You really to sharpen up, study every day, find out what is it that you are missing. Because if you look at the training now, like I said to you, look, you have these people now that are training for only 30 hours. Where do you think they're going to get time to actually even stand in front and practice how to even talk to the people? Leadership courses that I was talking about, business, how to read clients. It is impossible.
Yep.
It is impossible. Now you look at us. We were taught all these different programs, and you had to master that program before you actually pass it. There's no two way about it. They tell you, look, we want you to be able to teach. Even if they can take you now and employ you somewhere, they know they are going to make money with you. Definitely they know that they're going to make money with you. They will exploit you like nobody's business. But that was good because they would give you proper training. Now you don't get it because of the time. Time it's not there. It's all the understanding. Then it depends upon you whether you're going to take that and practice it. So it will boil down to, if you love it, you have to practice before you can actually even say, I want to be an instructor. Like, you know, the pastors would do this. They will take you all to school and you do all the classes and everything. But they will say to you, we are not going to release you to be a pastor until we feel that now so you really have it. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But now, Tina, what do you do after they finish a course? What validates them that they are okay? It's a certificate. Okay, listen, let's get on. Let's take me, for instance. I won't make an example with anyone else. I've been in fitness all my life. The past video that I spoke to you about Lebes Lokskulmaguyo that you actually recorded.
Yeah.
That story is true. I've never worked anything else except fitness.
Wow.
You know, just to prove it to you, I have 6 kids. Yes.
From fitness.
I have 6 kids.
Huh?
Yes.
From fitness.
From Hercules, listen.
From fitness.
My eldest, he's
From our members.
not from our members, man. My kids.
Focus, Hercules, focus. Focus.
I have.
Hello.
Yeah. Your question.
Are they from members?
Don't divert from what I'm talking about. Listen. So, my first one, he's 30.
Yeah.
And we in the second year we medicine.
Yeah.
So let me just generalize everything so that we don't have to waste time. All of them, I took them to school, and they were all going to private schools. Ne? Ngale mali, fitness.
Wow.
Yeah. And I had cars, not just a car. I also have a house from fitness. And I was also helping my mother.
From fitness.
From fitness.
So what's your advice to a lot of these trainers, fitness trainers right now, who are really struggling to come to terms with the fact that, you know, the gyms that they have been working at for many years are really not a support system, because we learned that through the lockdown.
Yes.
You know, through the COVID-19 lockdown that happened, they just threw everyone under the bus.
Yes.
That's why what I liked when you said just in the end of your last video that you know, you really have to be self-sufficient. And you really have to know how to market yourself, because you cannot rely on anything.
Exactly.
You cannot.
Exactly.
So what's your advice to the young instructors that you see nowadays that are particularly not really going about it the right way, because all they are looking for is just making money, and as soon as they don't see money, they give up on it?
Okay. You know what? Before I answer you, I'm going to take it the long route. Maybe because I'm old, ne?
Okay.
Yeah. Look. When I look at life itself, I look at it holistically. For me, anything can make money for you. It's how you do it. It's how you do it. Even sweeping can make you money. It's how you look at it. If you look at it as just sweeping because I want to just make money, then it's not going to work. But if you look at it and you say you want to make business out of it, now the whole thing changes. Because now you will first think of a client. The next thing you will think about what? Who are you going to sell it to? And what type of a client are you looking for? Because remember, others can sell good with Abelungu, others can sell okay with black people. So you need to know where you are confident. Exactly. Don't start to sell where you're not confident. It's wrong, because you are going to lose. You want to sell and make sure that people, when you advertise, they can just listen to you and want to buy you. Because what I've realized is that people don't buy a product, they buy you.
Yeah.
They buy you, they don't buy a product. So if people can buy me, what is it that is important about me? Then I need to fix this person first. Because if I am happy about this person and I love buying myself, now that is why companies like AZ, Ezama Network companies, is taking some product, you know, they use the same model of business. They do what? They first buy inside their company. first buy yourself. If you are happy with buying yourself, then the next person would be easy to say no.
Yeah.
Definitely, I want that person, because you'd be happy and content with who you are and how you do things. But what I see lacking with people, it's that confidence, because they don't see life holistically. Whereas when you are trained as an instructor, when you start your course, the first subject is what? Or your first chapter, it's wellness. They talk about wellness. And what is wellness? It's all those 4 components. So now it makes sense why you were taught about all those 4 components, because you know it's your physical, it's your psychological and social. But look at these things. What do they mean to you? Do you see them in yourself? So that when you go out, you can see that, okay, where's my social part? Am I good with the social part? Am I good on the physical part? Am I good on the psychological part? Because now, if you're an instructor and you cannot even consider other people's feeling and whether they are sick, or what do you do when they come with their problems? How are you going to address all those problems? And I can tell you, they will tell you that no, but we don't learn psychology in this. I'm saying it's there. It's there. It's there. But they are not saying it's there. It's there.
Yeah.
It's there. If in your first few chapters, it's there. It's about 2 pages, but it's there. It's there. Because they want you to learn how to work with kids. They want you to learn how to work with. Yeah, exactly. So,
you know, talking about you working on yourself and people buying you as a brand. I think it's very important what you highlighted, because, you know, I think most times Mnyazi will also say this. You know, Mnyazi is one person that is highly outspoken, and I've spoken with him about a few things that we've encountered in our lives, you know, and we've shared quite a bit about what has happened in our lives. And when I talk with my colleagues, you know, about the things that we go through on a daily, and we all basically talk about the same thing, and it's basically all about what we've been through. You know, you can't sell what you don't believe in. If you don't believe in yourself, then you definitely cannot be in this business, because it really does show.
Of course,
it really does show.
And look, we are in a business of you selling yourself. It's you who's doing the work. So if you know you don't focus in yourself, how are you even going to sell? It's impossible. It's impossible. You first have to look at yourself and say, what is it that makes me happy? When I go out and do what I do, am I happy with it? Am I happy with it? If you are happy, the rest is.
They must ask you, who was your mentor in the era you were starting? Who did you look up to, or who did you ask for advice from, knowing that it was a very hostile environment that you were in? It was only white people, Amangabla, only.
You know,
you were the only black person and was seen as a monkey. You were seen as a non-entity. You were seen as a died.
Exactly.
And you coming into this white spot, because
it was definitely white.
You know,
why does it
jumping or
of course.
And then Mustachi, who did you confide in?
You know, I had, when I was still growing up, because of I never had anyway too many friends is in Tangazam. Yeah, most of my friends were actually older people. So I looked up to, there was a guy that had a business in funeral parlor, but he passed away. I had another father, he also passed away. He was working at 3M. He was doing marketing. And yes, on white guys that I loved the way they conducted their classes. Every time I go to either a course or a class, I would focus and I would ask all the questions. So I'll be that troublesome student that will not leave you until you give me the information that I need. Yeah. Yes, also
always ask questions.
Yeah, yes, and I'll be that troublesome student, I promise you. And some maybe because of I was trained by below, they would make me fail because of I ask all these questions. And then I'll even ask them more. I'll even say to them, look, I'll come to your house because I don't understand this subject. Maybe sit with me, make me understand it until they actually give in. So I will force my way through. It was not a matter of a mentor or anything. So I had to just force them to mentor me anyway. Yeah. I know I had a trainer when I was doing sports aerobics that. As much as he was a white guy, but he really pushed me to work hard. And yeah, I looked up to him because his name it was Andre van der Nest. Andre.
Shout out to
Andre. Yeah, no, he was something. To me, he was something. To actually sharpen your skill and how to move, because he comes from a dance background and he was also a world champion years back. Do you understand? Choreography wise and of music, he was just something else. He was on another level. And then with different institutes, like I said, we had FITCO, and FITCO gave birth to these different institutions, and each institution was specializing in something, and they had like workshops almost every fortnight. We had workshops like now. If you look now and back then, there's a huge difference. How many refresher courses do we get? When was the last time you were on a refresher course or even a workshop about any program?
No, that's quite a while ago.
But how many marathons are there?
Plenty.
Yes.
Yeah. Plenty.
Yes. So this is the guy when he was still young. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So, like I was saying, it's you had to just mentor yourself, just push your way through during my time. These two guys, they were not in sports, but they were businessmen. So every time I'll do something wrong, they'll be there to say, no. This is not how you run a business. You need to be changing your strategy. Look at your savings. From a 10 cent that you get, you need to put something aside. So you need to always say, okay, this is the 10 cent that I made today. So if I made 10 cent, that means 10% of 10 cent is how much? It's 1 cent, right? So you take that 1 cent, you put it aside, you save it. And then you say, out of this one, what is my salary out of the 10 cent? Then you say, 2 cent, it will be my salary. So the rest, it's a money for what? Business.
Wow. And your expenses.
You have a salary already. So you see, if you are making money and then you spend it all, and if you can't even account for that 10 cent or cent, then something is wrong. Then you're going nowhere. That's where we go wrong. Look, I'll just change the scenario and bring it to nowadays. Let's say you are starting. Obviously, you don't have anywhere you can teach. Obviously, you're going to teach at one of these businesses, and you know they'll be paying maybe, nowadays I'm sure they can give you 150 or 160, and you need to say a session if it's 160. my transport money. I think you are a business. My shoes, if you take whatever supplements, you remember you are a business, so you need to then have a percentage that has to look after the business. Yes, and you say this is a percentage for the business. Now, what is my salary out of this 150? A certain percentage is my salary. This is what I will spend when I want to do whatever that I want to, because it's my salary. And then, but I want to grow the business. So what is now a percentage for the business that needs to look after the business when something goes wrong, and then you know that, oh, okay, I have money that can actually do this. Maybe you need something new. Let's say you are looking at, I will do classes for only 3 months, but I want to open my own studio.
Yeah.
Yes. Obviously, you don't want to spend too much time ulapa, because what are you doing now? You are actually building a rapport for what? For the people there, not for you, because they are members of not
gym.
You, the gym. Yes. Looking at yourself, what you need to do is, okay, after 3 months, I need to start opening something. Whether I rent a place or ask for a school, build my client base, whether I'm going to see people door to door, whatever that you have to do, you must start. You shouldn't waste time.
Somewhere.
You must start. Immediately as you start, remember, failing, it's good. But most people, they are afraid to fail. You obviously are going to have a lot of failures before you can actually make it.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously.
So if you don't start, when are you going to start failing? Because you need to start failing so that you can start to improve and change things. You won't know what to change. So you need to start failing. But work your way up. Work your way up. But through your failing, remember that, okay, I still need to save to go up, Okay, I made that mistake. Now I need to change it. What's my plan B? What's my plan? Eventually, you'll see SOPA. Yeah. You'll see that studio, I'm sure you can even have it in 3 years or in 2 years. But just imagine, most instructors, they spend now 12, 15, 16 years. Still instructing. And then they're still basatala na machochombeni. Mina angihlale machochombeni. My goal was I want a house. I want a car. Even though those times, it came late to me, say, I need to get my own studio. But that was not in my goals. It only came now. But if I wanted a studio then, I'm sure I could have achieved that goal. Definitely. Because for everything that I wanted, I bought it.
Going to that.
Yeah. Come again?
Yeah. Going into that.
Yeah.
I think I want to move away from the business side.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about the actual growth of the fitness professionals.
Yes.
There's been a lot of debate, in these marathons. I don't know what your take on marathons. I know what Mzi's take on marathons is. What do you feel that the purpose that marathons do to instructors, and do you think that these marathons are conducive, and also do they help to further give instructors the experience and also the practicality of what they should be doing when they go out and teach their own members? Because remember, marathons are a combination of instructors from all over South Africa coming together and teaching assumably people from different provinces, and showcasing the education and the experience that they have. Do you think, when Master G, that these marathons are serving that purpose of giving new instructors an experience that should be applied everywhere?
No. No. Actually, I'll be just straight and frank with you. They give nothing. They give absolutely zero. Not to say. Listen.
This is when I go. Please explain.
Yes. Let's first start with, I know something that will actually make people feel with it, they get hurt. Let me make it right for everyone. I'm just calming everyone down now. Okay. Now listen. Okay. It's always nice to congregate. It builds something spiritually. It helps that component. But if it doesn't have a purpose, it's useless. Because at the end,
Say it again, Master G. Say it again. Say that again.
I'm saying it is good to socialize. And
yes.
When you socialize, you're looking at something that will improve you spiritually, because when we congregate, yes, that improves our spirit side, because it's something that must build us as people. But it must have a purpose. We can't just do it. If it doesn't have a purpose, it's useless. It's definitely useless. What is happening? Okay.
Now, I heard you loud and clear.
Yeah.
Loud and clear.
Yes.
Loud and clear.
Yes.
Further, please go on.
Okay. Not to say marathons are a bad thing. They are not. But if you do them with a certain purpose, let's say you are a business, like everyone would claim that they are a business. Do you understand? So if you're a business, you obviously are looking at improving or growing your business. Then let a marathon be one of the events that you do for the reasons of either marketing yourself, and if it is marketing yourself, when you are sitting planning and when you finish the marathon, do you go back and say, did I achieve the goal? But if you don't go back and look at, did I achieve the goal? And what is achieving a goal in terms of the marathon? Am I going to do a marathon to gain money or to gain members? Now there's two things. Definitely you're not going to gain money. You're going to lose money. Listen,
100%.
100%. That I am sure about it. Number two, with marathons, the way they are doing them, because of they don't have a clear purpose. They don't know who they are marketing. I can't be marketing the same person that I see in every event. If I get the same 10 people coming to 10 events that I do, am I growing or not? So a business should grow with different people. So you look at, okay, have I covered that area? After I finish a marathon, how many members have signed in? Because you are not looking for the money. The money you have to waste for marketing to make money. You go and you waste it, and then tomorrow and then you claim that other people are sabotaging you when you are. They are also looking at their business. That's why you hear all these stories. You cannot do your marathon on my date. And come on, my business is my business. It has got nothing to do with you. You can have your own date, I can have my own date. Because the purpose and the aims of my business are not your goal. My goal is my goal. I will market my business the way I feel fit.
You know what? Before you finish, I hope you don't forget what you were going to say.
Yeah.
It really speaks huge amount when I hear you saying what you're saying, because you've got so much experience. We track you, we vampire, you live out. Yeah.
No, come on. Honestly, I don't regard myself as that. I just regard myself as a father, and I've been, time, yes. It means something.
Everything. You've seen everything. You know what works. You know what doesn't work.
Exactly.
You know what worked then. That doesn't work anymore.
Now.
You know what didn't work then. Works now.
Of course.
But there's certain things that you just cannot veer away from. You know, because human beings are human beings. No matter how much things change, they always stay the same.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So from that, I think I've learned a lot from what you just said now. And I want to just be clear on this. I want to be clear on this. You are saying marathons. There's nothing wrong with marathons. There's absolutely nothing wrong with marathons. But they are just not fulfilling the purpose that they need to fulfill.
Exactly.
And you can't grow by having the same amount of people. Traveling right throughout South Africa. Having the same people.
Exactly.
The same people.
Then it's not a business. It's a society. It's a society. It's just a social gathering for us to have fun and all that. That's why you'll see all these wrong things come in. Because people are bored. People are bored. Because we occupy people with nonsense. We want them to go to these marathons, and then we can welcome things like drinking and all this crap. Because we don't have a clear purpose in terms of what we are doing. If it is a business, surely the product that you are selling, you don't want to dent it with your either employees or people that support you drinking or doing all those other things while it is against the product that you are selling. Does it make sense? I mean, honestly. Where do we cut the line?
No, it doesn't. Honestly, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Just to get clarity.
Yeah.
Where do we cut the line?
Drinking at the event. Not after.
Not even after. People will drink at the event. All your members are watching you, and then they even have the audacity. The same organizers, they can see that this person, but they still allow them to go up on the podium and teach. So do you call that business? So I'll take you back. It's a society. Unfortunately, it's a society.
The feelings and the comments made by Master G are that of his own.
Yes.
Not represented by this podcast.
No. They are my own.
Okay.
They are my own, but it's the truth. Look, I always say to people, sometimes we need to call a spade a spade. Why? Because if we don't say the truth, because always truth hurts, and it hurts.
Yeah.
But it is the truth. If we are going to focus on emotions and forget that the truth will always prevail, then we are playing, and we are playing with fire, because we are not going to make it. Come again?
You know what, Master G? One thing, Mnyazi and I always clash about his intro, because I always question him about everything.
Yeah.
But one thing that's very profound that he said to me once, and it stuck with me, a lot. He says a lot of nonsense.
Yeah.
That guy, but sometimes it makes sense. Like you make 2%.
Yeah.
And he said to me, you know what? He had this struggle of either speaking his mind or not speaking his mind.
Yes.
And he tried to come up with ways of speaking his mind and making it very playful. And I told him, I said, you know what? I think don't stop speaking your mind, but maybe tone down a little bit, And then I found him being off social media and not saying so much. And then he couldn't keep quiet.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to speak up. And then he was like, you know what? And then he wrote down this long eulogy and was like, no, you know, I can't not speak up anymore because nonsense is nonsense. You know? And what I'll say is that, you know, as a person that likes to articulate academic criteria and also I read people, I've learned personally that when I voice my sentiments on anything, I open myself up for attack. These people always listen to what I say. They listen.
And they are waiting. They are waiting. They are waiting. They are waiting.
And it becomes, and you know, that's why I've learned from certain people, you know what, even if something is done wrong, I keep quiet. And the only people, I've learned this from Mnyazi. Mnyazi will say, you know what, my friend, I don't have a comment. But he will comment on something that I've done. And I've learned why he does that is because he really doesn't see me as a threat, number one. And number two, he doesn't care what I think because he knows it's my friend. You know, he'll tell me, but you can't open yourself up to critique anyone that you perhaps don't know, or critique people that you're not sure where they stand with you, because people don't take anything you say the right way, even if you mean it in malice.
But now here's what I want you to hear.
When you draw the line and be like, you know what, Master Chi has been watching, you know, everything that has been going on, and Master Chi is quiet. He's not saying
thank you. Because I was just about to bring you to that. But me being quiet, what does it mean to you? Why am I not? Because there's no platform really for me to say my say where people are just listening and not just cutting me into pieces. Because you see, Eskatin Samaj, people, they only look for what will tick them off because of they have their own problems already. They have their own problems already. So now you just become that person who just evokes that evil spirit that is within them that will actually make everything that they touch explode. But now, I always say to Mzee, we need to be the people that understand. What is understanding to me? Understanding is even understanding that other people, you will talk to them, but they won't hear you. They'll be listening to you, but they won't hear you. Because you wish that sometimes when you speak to people, they can actually hear you, not just listen. Because you know, you're just sitting there and you're listening and okay, it goes in and comes. But when you hear things that I say and you start making sense out of them, and then you start putting A and B and you look at why am I saying what I'm saying, then, only then, you'll understand that, oh, okay. Sinabantu lana wena he suguti balimele people, yes, but as fitness professionals, like I said, what is our role? Our role is wellness. It's not fitness, it's wellness. Why? Because fitness is part of wellness. And then if we think that we need to only focus on the fitness, then we are not going to achieve the goals, because these people are not just one. They are not just fitness. They are psychological, they are emotional people. They also want to be part of a society. They don't just want to be an island. They also want to enhance their spiritual side, their beliefs, their belief system. If if mina ngumuntu wabaphansi, when we Christian, where is the respect? Do we respect each other? Do we understand that it doesn't mean because of your Christian mina ngumuntu wamadlozi, I'm evil? Do you understand? So if people can start to learn to understand each other, we won't have a problem, because we'll always try to come to a conclusion where we all are agreeing to doing something. Manje kunzima because of each and everyone wants to have their own rights. Even they have rights, and they have right to also comment without even considering other people's feelings. That's not understanding. I do consider other people's feelings. At this point in time, I'm not mentioning anyone's name, but I'm just raising my views in terms of how I see things in terms of easing to the way they are happening. Because of the experience that I have, I can't say if something is wrong, it's right. It is wrong. So, because of my age, rather than me lying, I am not going to lie. If something is bullshit, it's bullshit. Don't take bullshit and want to serve it to the people. What are we for? We are for wellness. We are trying to improve people's lives. So we can't be just focusing on things that don't matter. Do you understand?
Yeah.
We need to do it the right way. That's all, Bafo. That's all.
Okay. I'm just gonna ask one more thing before we close off this topic today.
Yeah.
And it's something that's going to leave a lot of tongues wagging.
Yeah.
I can also imagine how I think I've opened up your ribs a little bit, because
no, you're welcome. You're welcome.
You're going to be taking a few hooks and uppercuts,
Yeah.
I'm sorry for that, but I think
don't worry.
People need to just know what Master G thinks about certain things.
Yes. Yes.
Master G, I will reiterate again why it's important for us to get your views, specifically your. You have decades of experience. You have decades of knowledge. You have decades of absolute failure. You have decades of learning. You have decades of seeing the same mistakes from people and from different people.
Exactly.
And how different people have tackled different things. You have also seen quite a few stars. You've seen a lot of potential people that could be stars. You've identified many of young individuals in your lifetime in this game.
Exactly.
So now I want to know from you.
Yeah.
From who put God in my wife?
Yes.
I want to know from you.
Yes.
What is your definition of being creative and entertaining without messing your expertise? Being creative and entertaining, which I think it messes up a lot of our new group exercise instructors, and I will also include myself, being new into this game, coming from a background of weightlifting and coming in exercise, being in a different ball game, absolutely different.
And I agree.
What is?
I agree that about you.
What's your take?
That's easy for you, eh?
I can testify.
a specific question.
Yeah.
Before I go into a specific question, what's your take about creativity from a group exercise, instructor, and entertainment?
Okay, let's look at creativity and let's look at entertainment. Number one, those two words, what are they for? Remember, we're working with people and they need to be motivated. Of course, in whatever that you do, you need to have some, not everything creative, some level of creativity. Not all of it. And you have to also have some. there also has to be an entertainment. Because you're working with people. Remember, sir, if you look at all these components as a wellness, you will obviously see anything psychological, when you do it physical, it will be boring. So you have to consider the psyche of Montu. Okay, what would make them want to work harder? It's when they're joyous. So you have to throw in something that will actually pull them towards what you want. So we use creativity and entertainment as part of to get the goal that we need, so that we get the physical part right. Because if also we don't get the physical part right, people aren't going to be creative or even enjoy what you're doing. You can come with something when it is creative part for you, because we have not considered the people, number one. Because it will also depend what type of creativity level also. Am I giving creativity gubantu aba and punch and go, yeah, and and then you come and then you do a ballerina and play the music ballerina, then there's no creativity there. That means you are not using that component is psychological, because you want to affect people psychologically, and you want to make sure when they are here with other people they can enjoy, because now that's when now the social component also is included. Now when you come now to your part of being this physical person in making sure they achieve their goals, now everything is easy if you know how to affect them in these other two components. So creativity, now, let me just close it. Creativity, no means a logo. It's a must. You are not dealing with walls. It's a must.
Yes. Okay. Now in that, in my time of dealing with different people, I mean, I come quite a lot of my colleagues in the fitness industry. Some of them talk to me in the open, and a lot of them they talk to me privately. Mm-hmm. And also from my background, I'm a very outspoken person. I say a lot. I've said a lot. I've kind of toned down now because I've learned just to, use my ears more and talk less with my mouth, because I've learned that my mouth is very powerful. Things I say, people listen, whether it's good or bad, And how I learned that is that I've gotten so many inboxes and messages about people telling me to speak on such a content or to speak on such a subject. People will come to me like, say, what do you think of this? Can't you just talk about it? And I'm talking about it on social media, not even on radio, but they want me to talk about it. And the only reason why they want me to talk about it is because people listen. People listen. People listen. Whether I say something good to them or say something bad that they view as bad, people listen.
You're an influencer.
So, unfortunately, and also it's something that I couldn't prevent because of the way that I conduct myself in the manner that I speak. That's why I've now toned down in the way I communicate, and I've learned that it shouldn't be harmful towards anyone, because my what I say carries a lot of weight. So now, talking with one particular individual, about this entertainment and this creativity. This young man said to me, in his classes, if his creativity and entertainment doesn't have a dangerous element, then he doesn't consider it as something creative. And I was like,
that's crazy.
Are you serious?
That is crazy.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Maybe he didn't hear himself. Honestly, he didn't hear what he just said.
And then, and members will actually talk about this and be like, yo, la class Leana, you better wear now not do la class, because those are professionals. Those are wapa. And they see it as something as like, I might be in trouble for this. I know. Maybe,
you see what influencers do.
This is an example.
Can you really see what influencers do?
Yeah.
They can change a ball game. I promise you. It's easy to make people follow you. But now, an entertainer, people that create all these moves without considering the science behind it, it's foolish. Because if you want your business to last, number one, that's for me, it's for how long do I want to still carry on and have the same members and gain more members? One of the things that I've realized when people were honoring me this past weekend, it's all of them were talking about one thing: development, education, how I do things right and all that. And then I started actually now honoring myself even more, because I am for that. I mean, there's no way I will finish a class without correcting. It's impossible. I am that module when you go and do the course. I can tell you from the beginning till the end of that when you start a class, from pre-class instructions, what is it that you want to see? What is it that you want to have? Even the part of the entertainment is there, because I know how to even limit it. I know where, a little bit, so that it can raise whatever that I need, and then off to fitness, because it's not just one little thing. So if you say to me, is creativity good or not good?
It's very nice when you actually can feel it. When
yes.
you do something and then
then you tone it down. So your levels must have high and lows. Now you know people that just want you to reach that level of excitement, but there's nothing bringing you down. They're dangerous. They are dangerous.
There are no dynamics.
There are no dynamics, obviously. But now it's understanding the rhythm. What is it that I want? I am still teaching these people. I'm still instilling knowledge. It's educational at the same time, because of the mental. Remember, we said 4 core components. It must be mental. When I teach, I need to see the physical part of it. I also need to see that as the members, they also communicate and have fun. Oh, can you see? This is nice. How are you doing? Oh, it's nice. When they finish a class, that class was nice. It's not like, okay, you finish the class and then each and every one individually, they go. So you know that you didn't achieve your goal as an instructor. But if you can keep people, start making new friends from the same class, then you know, you are a very good instructor. Because any class that will change people's mind and emotions and make them want to gather and work together. You don't know what this does spiritually. It's not to make people feel good. The atmosphere, every time they will be talking about, hey, we can't wait. Hercules. You just become their little Gotinyana. Hey, I'm telling you, when you're not around, there's no class. But again, Hercules, while you are still there, as instructors, we need to encourage members that they shouldn't only do your classes. There are other instructors. We need to give other instructors a chance.
Yeah.
If you can, Hercules, include these upcoming instructors in your classes. Sulela Gubo. You know what?
Yeah.
Show them that a class is not about just creativity that you do there on top. It's about a lot of things. Creativity for me, it's not a complexity of a choreography. Nah. Creativity for me, it's how am I going to make sure that the class, the aura, everything just gels in. From fitness to psychological to gaining that, you know what that does to Umuntu. If this person came down a class, and I promise you, when they leave, they're happy. Samapoli. Yeah. That's what we need to do, because we are for wellness. We shouldn't look at this creative move. Everyone just get confused. That's when I say you are boring. A boring instructor, it's the one that will make a very complex move and Nayawake can't even follow the move. Some of them they do that, and then you sit with them and you say, okay, break it down for me. Guess what? We taught them all these skills. They have all the tools. You say, okay, your class should be progressional, and they're like, yeah, but my class is progressional. I moved from here, and then I said, no. Number one, you need to understand progression in terms of fitness, not progression in terms of complexity. In terms of fitness, if I say something, it progresses in terms of fitness. We're talking about the intensity. We're talking about the resistance. So now that starts bringing what? Anatomy, physiology. How do these muscles work? What is my intensity? At this point, I should be working at this intensity. Does it make me feel good? I'm working hard? Because when you're working around that rate, now certain things happen to you. Your hormones start releasing all these happy hormones. Then you start losing weight. There's human growth hormone. But you also need to understand that there needs to be, a level. Ups and downs. Why? You need to bring it down, because if you don't tone it down, what are you doing? You're only just stressing your body through and through. And if you stress your body through and through, what happens? You start releasing the wrong hormones again. Your cortisol. When you release your cortisol, it's a stress hormone. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Cortisol. You people came here to relieve the stress and go home, but right. You just gave them a bonus. And remember, since cortisol it is digested by liver, let's say it's in excess, maybe you ate other things that are contributing to it having to convert energy. Then it's in excess, whatever you store that comes from the liver, it becomes visceral fat. And then people wonder, why Mara I don't lose weight in Yenza? Mara saying that 10 years in why Yenza? But he's because they don't understand the science. Yeah? I'm telling you, 100. I nearly said 100%. Let's just say 90% of most instructors. Because that would actually include me. 90% of instructors, I promise you, they are going through a same problem that I'm telling you about. I can tell you how many members come to them and say, but you know what, now it's been 2-3 months and you said, I will see this weight going down, but it's not going anywhere. Because you know, where do we focus? Only on fitness. And we are not fitness, like I said. It's 4 components. Focus on this. And then you will see that you'll have balance. The homeostasis that we talk about, they should go back and find out what is homeostasis really. How do actually hormones operate? If I'm happy, if I am stressed. And what is stress? What is stress on its own? Because people, they think stress is into MP. There's nothing wrong about stress. Your body should be stressed so that there can be an adaptation, so that your body can equip you with new muscles, strong muscles to handle stress. But when you cannot, when you cannot manage that stress, that's then a problem. It is a problem.
Master G.
All right.
Master G.
Yeah.
Before
we're gonna call it a day.
Yeah.
Before we we let.
Isn't Bahala putting?
Before I need to learn money keep seller.
Yeah.
The keep seller from far. You know what Master G is saying. We were talking last week about a programming ne? And as we were talking about my programming last week, he gave me some inputs ne? that I've already started implementing in my programming. You know, to tell you the truth, already I can see the difference on how the people are performing now in terms of the classes of the challenge that you are doing. And I can also feel the difference in terms of how I am also feeling as I'm presenting the classes. Because I was feeling pains as well. But now I get enough time to rest, and we're actually doing flexibility as part of the program. And you'll be yes, I always knew it's important, but you know, it's one thing knowing. Actually, I always believed it's important, but now I know it's important. Yeah, let's say
it is.
So yeah, I wanted to just add on what he was saying in terms of stressing the body and making sure that you recover and applying.
It is important. Look, I am a good example of all these things. Things that I talk about, I didn't hear them from anyone. I am a good example. I've been through that experience. If you know my weight a few years ago, because before the COVID, because when I started coaching, that's when everything started to go south. Yeah, and then I when I was still doing sports, being right, was my body from then. Then when COVID started, and then started to take people online and private, then it hit me with actually people always follow if you are doing the same thing. They want to see it from you. So walk the talk. Don't be someone who just preaches to people, but you are doing a different thing. Exactly. So, I mean, from Dala, it's something that I was doing, but then I stopped. I mean, but now coaching people, telling them that this is what they must do. When I was not doing it, no one was doing it. Guess what?
Yeah.
When I started changing and doing what I was preaching to them, everyone just said no. Now we believe you. We want to make sure that we stick to what you tell us to do, and now we believe you. Do you understand? And it was all just like I said, balancing all these 4 components. People, we are not just fitness, we are wellness. We are wellness. So every time as fitness professionals, let's stop only focusing our programs to be just fitness. Let's make sure what is it that people are going to gain mentally? What is it that they're going to gain in terms of the social part of it? When they come and bazihlanganela la, how's their energy? How do they communicate? Bazwana njani? Do you get what I mean? And you can also see, but when you have to be the example in terms of respecting first their beliefs, so that their spiritual side, it's always safe. Because there's something else when people think Ukutuena, your gym is only about Christianity, or if you're a Christian, or about Buddha or whatever religion. So as a business person, you have to be neutral. You have to understand that this one is different from that one, but we are all people.
The same.
Yeah, we are all the same.
James, thank you so much.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a beautiful weekend, man.
Yeah. It was nice talking to you. And then later, I'll just talk to you later. WhatsApp. There's something that I saw on your videos.
Sure.
Thank you.